Hello everybody, Asgard Raid 2. Pretty unusual review for our today, because we're gonna buy Meta Quest 3. An open world RPG with multiple characters, plenty of minigames and quests, and enjoyable combat loop sounds like much fun whichever way you slice it. But when you consider Asgard Raid 2 is built from the ground up in VR, it certainly changes your perspective both figuratively and literally. Since our game's new title is massive in scope, but somehow managed to meet its own expectation and exceed my own. Make no mistake, Asgard's Raid 2 is a watershed moment for the VR gaming. And while it's a sensational showcase for the Meta Quest 3, it's packed in width for early adopters. It's also a title that may just swing via nice sailors. Well, as I mentioned in my previous games and reviews, Asgard Raid 2 catches you up like a detailed plot summary of the first game, explaining how the trickest Loki bamboozled the player character and left them locked up. Thankfully, you're set free by even higher power and tasked with inhabiting the bodies for different protagonists as they fight, loot, quest, hunt, and even fish across open worlds and impressive dungeons. Each of the heroes is nuanced, both in terms of their origins and their abilities, meaning that as you work your way throughout the over 19 hours of content, you uncover more about each and really find yourself coming in problems in the same way chapter to chapter, whether it's posing or archery, throwing a shield Captain America style, or dashing into the close and personal with the opponents. Asgard Raid 2 combat clicked with me more than any other VR title. Whenever you are in the sandals of combat is mealable, with your real word arm feeling pledgiously one-to-one with the flashy attacks and combos. Your weapons are more interactive aside from just swinging around, to meaning you can bash your sword against your shield or conduct lightning with your sword if it goes on. And a section where you sneak past a true scribe-shrouded boss is another highlight, but the sheer variety of enemies types across each of the game captures is massive, moving between the fantastical and more humanoid enemies with impressive regularity for a medium known for conscious experiments that down things very well. It's a surprising smorgasbord. There are just some examples of the way Asgard Raid 2 makes the most of its VR format, and being able to enjoy Skyrim like hingings of picking items and stashing them next to unsuspecting wonders is more fun in VR than you expect. One of the biggest selling points of the first Asgard Raid was the ability to shift to god form in certain sections, and that returns in sequel, moving to a much larger character, pulling switches and moving platforms before shrinking back down to progress throughout those changed environments leans on one of my favorite types of VR experiences, diorama asynchronous scale manipulation. I'm satisfying to spot the solution to a puzzle, but more than the act of shooing between big and small forms is something that feels better in VR than it could be do a 2D plane. God form often makes an appearance in Asgard Raid 2 dungeons, which represent some of the best VR gaming moments I've experienced with any headset. Leaping across the charms, using a whip to go full Spider-Man, or tiptoeing, for example, the pass traps and spike pits like a godlike Indiana Jones, sounds like a recipe for motion sickness. As lapsed VR player, I found myself pleasantly surprised with how it made me feel slick and not sick. Scraping throughout some of the tomes unscattered had me feeling like I should be reaching my fedora, and entirely optional roguelike mode is something I plan on regularly. Rewards progressing further each time, almost like VR Hades, I hope, and I can't wait to stuck in. It's not just loot either, players can also expect to hunt and gather materials for crafting or selling items to merchants, and these are just a few more of many systems that polish the make Asgard's Raid 2 feel like a genuine world with a headset. Naturally, the ambitions comes with the cave feats. The Quest 3 is more powerful headset than its predecessor, but the nature is all over the VR platform means that can't lean out of powerful PC to other connected hardware, so while the visuals look great, they are not impressive at something like Half-Life Alyx, the other VR killer app. I also experienced a couple of crashes, but Asgard Craft 2 regularly autosave mean the progress lost each time was minimal at most. That's a handy too, because you bleeds throughout the Quest 3 battery without even realizing just how much fun you're having. Well, in the verdict, I should say that Asgard Craft 2 is the most impressive showcase VR that I've ever seen in a game, and I'm desperate to get back to even after finishing this review. Packed full of secrets, layered with the systems, and likely to get even better over the time with the new in-game events. It's a huge RPG that's worth exploring. And I should say about the cons? Well, I said about some technical issues, but about the pros, it's much more pros, so the huge words. So much to see and to do, and a fantastic combat with the fun characters. So yeah guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe, and go ahead, it's time. 2024 is for VR games. I mean, the end of 23, but nevertheless, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Peace.